Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Sorry for the long delay in getting a race out for you guys. Slate Model Open Series has been not kind to me this week. It's been a combination of not getting good fields to show you guys, as well as me just driving quite poorly in some of them. So this is kind of going to be my last shot. Whatever comes out of this is what you'll get to see. Hopefully it won't be bad. We've got 15 cars. Seems like it's
All
a
clear. Stay
moderate strength
behind the
of
line.
field. I am
Okay,
car
Jake.
number
You've
7,
got
so
2 laps.
here
Let's get
at
this
New
done.
Smyrna Speedway for week 2 of season 2 2022. Going out for qualifying, going to try to make the most out of this qualifying effort just to try to get myself a little bit closer to the front. I think that's been some of the problems that I've had in some of these is I have not been able to qualify in some of them and started towards the back, and it's kind of forced me into I'm trying to drive harder than I probably should be and getting stuck behind people, getting frustrated, other stuff happening. So I'm going to try to see if I can start any closer to the front and have that hopefully help. Obviously, there's some really fast guys in here, some people that I don't think I'm going to be able to contend with at all. So
Was at 18.
not expecting to light up anything on fire. The setup is definitely faster, and it is available for free this week through the Team Goon Squad. You can get it through the Discord channel. Do better than I did right there, lose it off of turn 4. This track's hot and slick for sure. So I would say for sure, if you have any interest in running it this weekend, go out and grab it. I will have the link to the Discord channel in the description box for where you can go grab it for this week. While you're there in the Discord channel, take a look at everything else they've got to offer. There's a lot of cool stuff. It's just a great community, a lot of great guys, all sorts of skill ranges. So it's pretty inclusive and a lot of fun that way. So go check it out, see what it's all about, grab the setup. Feel free to let me know how it is. Somehow we managed to qualify third, although the one did not qualify and he's going to be really fast. There was a pretty big discrepancy in practice just in a few minutes, so hopefully the car won't be too bad. I'm actually going to modify this and move the brake bias back just for my own comfort. I built it based on what I thought a lot of other people would like and not, necessarily my driving style, so also going to get paints refreshed. I'm going to take a look at one thing too, just to see. All right, we should be good. But yeah, hopefully I can just try with starting towards the front, try to keep it up there. I definitely am going to be a lot slower off the beginning compared to a lot of people. The setup is not quite as fast as everybody up front, but I think it doesn't quite fall off as hard as some people's are. So, if people are going super aggressive off the start, I may have to let some people go and drop back a little bit, but if not, then I can try to work my way back to the front as the race goes on. So you're going to notice some car numbers that are off on the actual cars compared to what the relative's showing. I'll try to talk my best through what you're seeing on the relative compared to what's on the car, but I may identify them as what's on the car. So I want to give you guys that heads up. But yeah, I mean, obviously, would like to finish 7th or better. Starting this close to the front, would like to be a top 5 if I can, but we'll just have to see what I can do. If I can just not drive like an idiot and get through this, I'm going to be the happiest with that. So should be fun. It's actually a lot of fun track. It's going to definitely be a bottom track, as most short tracks are. Although, depending on how the lines work out and how the pressure goes, entering like right around here, right around the first seam, and then diving down off the corners is the better way to go. But if I've got people behind me pressuring me, then I'm going to have to try to do what I can. You can see the 3 just dives it into the middle. I don't know if we were actually 3 wide, but he made a aggressive move off the start. I guess good for him. You got to be aggressive on these starts and do what you can. We're just going to let the 4 in front of us. I get a little loose there with steering input into 3. Able to get it settled. See if we can start pulling away from the 8. Again, just front 4 are probably going to be gone, especially with how aggressive the 3 was there. Going to look to see if any kind of blocking or anything like that happens up front, causes problems. If you do get this set up, it is best to let the car roll through the center of the corner off throttle before you start picking it up, especially off of the start. And when you do, just take it really easy off the start for the first 5 or 6 laps or so of getting back on the throttle. Especially if you're on a hot slick track like this, the car will definitely get loose and slide off of the corner. So you don't want to be losing it off turn 2 or turn 4 because you got on the throttle too hard. Yeah, just kind of hanging here in 4th. Obviously not where we started. The 3 just made that crazy aggressive move, which we'll go take a look after the start. I mean, good for him that it worked out, I guess, but I don't know. That was definitely a bit more than I was expecting to see.
That lap was a 18.93.
But we'll do what we can. I don't think it was anything illegal against sporting code. Like, I don't think he made a lane change before the start-finish line. We'll have to take a look and see, but would assume iRacing would have given a black flag to him had he done that. We've got one slow car up ahead. Watch out for them. Looks like one was in the pits as well. And we've got another one up in turn 3, so starting to deal with lap traffic. Didn't see any smoke, but guys must have had a bit of an issue. We are pulling away from the 8, so looks like 4th place is right now where we should end up, which again is inside top 5, better than 7, so I will gladly take that. Just going to try to do what I can to not overdrive the thing off the corner. That was that case of just getting on the throttle a little too early, a little too hard. More you can save the car from sliding, more momentum you're going to carry off the corners. This is a lot like street stocks or SK modifieds where they are underpowered and you have to really try to conserve all the momentum and speed that you can, so you don't want to be sliding at all. 12. I didn't realize I was catching him quite as quick as he did, and he dove down. We were able to clear him, though. He went back high, thank you to him. Didn't cost us too much time. The other side, too, from the sliding is you're going to heat up your tires, and if you're getting loose off, you're really going to heat up that right rear, and it's going to be that much tougher to get the car from a grip standpoint off the corner. So definitely, you know, be kind to the car to start, and it will give you a lot more at the back end of the run. Like I said, I don't think I'm quite as quick up front, but hopefully, depending on what these guys do, I would expect all these guys to be gone as the race goes. But perhaps, you know, if it doesn't fall off quite as back, if I can stay somewhat close, at least to the 4, maybe we can try to draw them back in the last, you know, 10 or 15 laps and get somewhere. Just working through right now, watching out for anything up ahead. Seems like the 2's kind of separated himself just a little bit from the 3. But as always, going to keep my eye out in case anything happens to try to avoid it. Otherwise, just really been having some big issues with driving this week. I don't know why I've been so terrible. Just not driving consistent at all, not driving the way that I know I can. So trying to focus on hitting my marks, getting the car through. I'd rather drive the car at 90 or 95%, give up some time, but be able to hit laps and not, you know, spin out or anything, than try to go 100% but lose it. That's going to cost me far more time. So 4's definitely falling back off the 3. We're falling off a little bit, but it's not too bad. It's been holding right around 1.1. We've got 2.2 ahead to the 8, so plenty of space behind. No reason to push it. No pressure to worry about either, and right now it doesn't look like any lap traffic. I get into turn 3 a little too hot there. The car wanted to break loose, able to save it. That cost me another 10th though to the 4.
That last lap was at 19.19.
Again, just trying to work the car through. I'll be completing lap 15 this time by, so we'll have 25 to go. I overdrive turn 3 that time, but not from a loose factor, from a tight push up the track. This is what I'm talking about with my inconsistencies this week. I just have not been able to hit the same lines at all. Like, I don't do the same braking point, I don't do the same brake pressure, I don't do the same amount. I just, same thing on the throttle and getting out. It's been really bad. So, not sure what kind of funk I'm in, and I've got to put a lot of time to figure it out quickly, otherwise it's not going to end well. Still opening up the gap on the 8. He is also opening the gap up on the 10, so kind of spread out a little bit, which I thought there was a fairly decent speed discrepancy in qualifying. Qualifying doesn't always translate to race pace, but can possibly give you an indication. But even in the practice times, there was quite a bit of a difference, so kind of figured we'd see something like this, which may not produce the most interesting racing for you guys, but like I said, it's not gone well, so I had to get something for you guys.
The gap to Gross ahead is now 1.63.
Ford's definitely pulling away. I'm just not driving well, and the times when I'm driving more consistent, I'm taking it a bit easier just to get myself reset and get back through, so it's fine. If I created too much of a hole that I can't make up, then, you know, it was because my driving was not good enough. I think the setup can definitely be a lot faster and a lot more competitive than what I'm doing. I'm sure some of you guys can make it look far, far better. Was able in testing to be able to drive it a lot better. Like I said, I'm in this funk that I cannot not drive well at all.
Okay, Jake, that's half distance. You're looking good.
20 down, 20 to go.
Gap to Gross in front is now 1.77.
Almost too much of a gap to be able to make up. We'd have to be catching a tenth of a lap at least right now. And I smacked the wall. Thankfully, no incident point. That's just pounding into my errors. But yeah, we'd have to be catching them at least a tenth and a half a lap or so, because it takes quite a while to get by somebody. And we've got the 16 to work by here up ahead. Prefer to get underneath him through the corner. We'll see what he does into turn 1. He's going to take the low line. Maybe we're just going to try to go by on the outside.
Still there.
I really want to give up that much time, but he's not budging at all, and I know I've got the speed to get by him on the outside, so gave up quite a bit of time to everybody up front, but that's not a factor. I wasn't going to get there anyway, so we'll just have to see if this lap traffic up ahead plays any kind of factor for them. I would love to get by people on speed, but I'm not going to turn down a free spot if something bad were to happen to any of them, but seems like lap traffic so far in this race has been pretty respectful for the most part. Well, we got the 10 that just almost pulled out in front of us. Trying to see if I can close back down to the 4. Just if nothing else, it gives me an idea that I was faster, but he's also stuck in lap traffic, so I'm sure we're either the same pace at this point or he's actually faster than me. But just 14 laps to go. Working lap 27 now. At least been able to keep it fairly clean aside from that wall shot I took off of turn 4. Just trying to make sure that I don't overdrive the thing or get on the throttle too hard. Instead, the car does a pretty good job of not falling off too bad. I probably should have made it a little bit tighter and a little bit easier to drive faster up front. It's probably worth the fall off. Probably could build a big enough gap, but kind of built it with a blend of what I like to drive in mind compared to what I thought, you know, would be beneficial to the wider community. Again, I think for the most part, the racing here in the Open Series is generally a lot cleaner and a lot more respectful. So I wanted to be able to give everybody the ability to get something that was competitive, start running these Open Series, and actually be able to have some fun, enjoy some clean laps, and really build valuable experience rather than some of the fixed setup series where guys are just crazy aggressive and you've got a lot of dumb moves and everything.
Right side.
Trying to work by 13, able to clear him. I think that's what we saw the 4 get held up by. And possibly the 12 up ahead as well. So you can see the gap open back up to what it was before when we had to get by the 16. But we've got 9 laps to go. Just working my way, trying to keep it clean, trying to keep the 0x in play. That'll make me happy to rebound from some of the stupidity I've had in bad races, along with, you know, a 4th place finish. Well, again, it's better than expectation. While it's not where I qualified, certainly, you know, in this field, I can tolerate that. It'll be a good way to finally end the week for Late Model Open. Definitely need to go spend some time working on the driving working on consistency, just finding the right lines, and then once I find them, making sure that I can repeat them over and over again, because that's my biggest issue is I'm just flat out not doing the same thing in a row. Like you can see, I'm just literally all over the place. This is just the difference is there's such a skill gap between the or speed gap in between the 8 and myself that that's the only thing that's keeping me in 4th place. If it was a tighter field, more competitive, I'd be getting shuffled to the back quickly with how many mistakes I'm making. Just I'm not doing the same thing at all.
Coming up on your...
It's not pretty at all.
Outside line's clear.
Not pretty at all. So I don't know what funk this is. I know I'm not great, but I'm not this bad normally. So I don't know if it's something that I've, if it's just a bad week, if it's something that's fundamentally changing. I don't know. I'm gonna look at everything, really try to glean some other methods that I might be able to try for practice to see if I can pick it up faster. Done a little bit of research. If you guys have anything, if you've been through these kind of stretches and you've had any kind of tips or tricks that have helped you to get out of it and you want to share it with me, I am all ears to hear whatever you guys have to say about that. Certainly would be very much appreciated.
In front is now 4.2 seconds.
Just, yeah, I know I'm not normally this bad and I want to improve even more than this, so, super frustrating that I'm stuck in it. We also had the moment there with the 11 who slid up the track, able to cut underneath and avoid him.
Time was 19.57.
Not as close as it, or probably felt a little bit closer to me than what it really was, but a little bit of a scary moment there. Able to avoid that though. Gonna get the white flag this time by. Again, with over 5 seconds of a lead over the 8, there's no reason why we shouldn't bring it home in 4th. Just gotta be smart, not drive like an idiot. I will gladly take a 4th place finish in this field. Again, not great by any means. I feel like everybody will be able to make that setup look far better than I did, but I will gladly take that. I just yeah, I don't know. I think the 3 still would have gotten by us regardless. So yeah, we can take a look at that and see what happened, because really that's really the only big thing to look at. All right, so I don't know. Maybe there is something to say from a pros test from that standpoint, because the 3 just literally cut down underneath the 4 before we even got anywhere near the start-finish line. While he technically passed us on the outside, so he didn't really technically pass anybody incorrectly. Like, I didn't get going, obviously, as well as I should have. Like, I started going, and then I just lifted quickly, like, just ever so quickly for the 3 when he cut through the middle there. And then held to the bottom and didn't take the line that I wanted to in the corners because I thought we were still 3 wide and I didn't want to push it. So he didn't technically pass anybody on the inside, which is what gets you the black flag before the start-finish line because he got the 4, but that was certainly, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that move, but I guess you got to do what you got to do, so that's what it is. He ended up ultimately finishing second by just under 4 tenths, so he kept it close to the 2, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that move. I guess I've had a little bit of history with him, or at least seen other things he's done, and should have expected that. That was just, I don't know. Maybe that's the aggression level I got to take things up to, and that's one of the ways too that I got to change to have more success. I mean, you guys can feel free to let me know what you guys would have done in that situation, or if you agree with the move or not. Let's take a look at it from his perspective. I mean, it's pretty cut and dry what happened, but just watch his leader he goes, and he just instantly, like, he had zero concern of where I was, like, none whatsoever. I think even if we would have been there, like, he would have come across our nose. I don't think he had any concern there whatsoever. So, yeah, like I said, I'm not really a big fan of that move, but I get it. It's short track racing, it's so impossible to pass. You could see that. The bottom's, the only way to go, and everybody can defend that pretty well. So you got to take the spots when you can get them. But that was that might have been a bit much for what I would have agreed with. So let's take a look at the results. Feel free to leave your feedback on that. Would love to hear from you guys there on that one. But take a look at the results. They should at least be the most positive late model one I've had all week. So take that. Single split 1904 strength of field's not definitely lower than what I am, but sadly that's not even the lowest strength of field I've ran. We were only about a tenth and a half off. The 3 was the fast one. 1.1 or so off the fast lap. Pace was just, it was 86. Track temp was pretty hot, pretty slick. So pace was never going to be all that fast to begin with, and it was like 1.8 off on the average lap. Which again, I'm sure some of you guys could close that gap and make that look even better because I obviously had quite a few laps that I was all over the place on and didn't drive real well. So you could easily make this gap a lot closer than what it was. It was almost 2 tenths, obviously. So, but I can kind of deal with that. So able to gain 41 back over 2,500. I know I started the week at like 2,570, something like that. Like I said, I get late model. I just drove like absolute junk. So hopefully the oval races I get for the rest of the week and should try to grind that back up. Same thing with the safety rating. It's under, I was up to that 3.3 or whatever at one point. So hopefully I can grind that back up, get back, heading in the right direction. Just keep these going. Try to build some confidence back. Like I said, try to figure out what exactly I'm doing wrong and try to rectify that so I can start picking up a performance a little bit more. So just got the benefit of a little bit of a weaker field and a setup that was better than what some people were running, I would say. So I was certainly by no means the fastest. I probably was fourth, fifth fastest car on the track or so. But try to make the most of it. Still met the top 5 goal, I guess. And yeah, like I said, I will have the link in the description box. Feel free to go grab that from the Team Goon Squad Discord channel. There is or in the server, there's a channel on there that's for the weekly free setup. Go check it out there. We'll have a different one every week. May not always be the same series. May sometimes be the same series a couple weeks in a row. But we're always gonna have one offered for at least a little while till we get this up and running. A little bit more awareness of it. Again, these aren't going to be the absolute fastest. Like you may be able to drive them and compete with the top guys, but necessarily I'm not guaranteeing they're going to go just light everybody up. But they are definitely going to be far better than anything you can do, and they should be on the edge of quick but comfortable as well. I'm not making these things wrecking loose to where nobody can drive them because clearly I'm not even a good enough driver to be able to handle that. So I run the exact same thing that you guys have. I can't I can't make something that I can't drive either. That's not how I want to do stuff. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. Feel free to leave any feedback. Like I said, if you've guys got tips for breaking out of funks or working on consistency, being able to hit the same brake pressures and braking points and all that stuff. Love to hear from you guys. If you guys have any thoughts on that start with the 3, feel free to let me know what you think of that one as well. Otherwise, stay tuned for more races. And until the next one, I hope all your laps are fast, your races are clean, and your finishes are good. Thanks for watching.